everyone, this is Roland Walker for First Advance, and we're talking about the lend and drive, pawn and drive loan model. And what I'd like to discuss is just the history, where we are with it, and hopefully where we're going to be, and just an idea of how it works. So about 5 years ago, my ex-partner and I found this idea overseas. In the UK, it's actually called logbook lending, and in the US, it's called title lending. And effectively, what it does is it's like pawn, I guess, to a very loose extent, but it allows you to drive the vehicle that you are using as security. So effectively, you would get given a loan, and rather than in a pawn situation where the lender would keep the vehicle in a secured place, this model actually allows you to drive the vehicle. So it's incredibly much more risky for the lender, so the company like ourselves that extends loans to people. It really is very risky, and it would seem like it's a whole lot riskier in South Africa, where lenders tend to not worry so much about paying back. So yeah, it comes with a whole host of costs. But typically overseas, it's been in action. If you Google it for the last 20, 30 years, the lender would take the title papers, so hence title lending, or the logbook, and they would hold it as security. They would take spare keys and they would lend the guy the money, and every month he would have to pay them back the interest. And when he's finished and he can afford it, he would pay them back the full amount and settle his account and get his keys back and walk away until he needed another deal or whatever. So 5 years ago, we did try it in this country, and we'd actually went to the NCR and they hadn't ever heard of it, and we got told to carry on, and we advertised accordingly. We called it pawn your car and drive it. And yeah, we had a lot of clients, and we had a lot of errant clients that took our money and then never decided they didn't want to pay us. A lot of our clients went to the NCR and complained, and obviously the NCR looked at the Act and saw that we actually didn't fall into the Act as far as a lender was concerned, and they said, you can't do this. So we retooled our documents, our contracts, so that we felt that we fell outside of the Act. We called it a rental and a buyback. So basically, we bought the vehicle, we rented it to you, and then we gave you an option to buy it back at it whenever you were in a position to pay us back. And we thought that might suffice. Unfortunately, the regulators looked at it and still felt that it was a simulated transaction, and it actually still was lending, which to all intents and purposes it was. I was in a position where I had to look at the whole thing and decide, what did I want to do. And as I say, I still think it's a very good product for a person that has two options, whether to do the pawn and drive, or whether to do the straight pawn where he has to leave his car. Now, obviously for me, for my company, it's far more safe and less risky if I can keep the vehicle, because if you don't pay me, then once I've given you due warning and made sure that you're never going to be able to pay me, I can sell the vehicle and get my costs back and get my money back. But there are certain people that have they've got a stable income every month, and they are able to live up to the contract. So they're able to pay you every month, and they really need the money, but they also really need to drive the car. So there's definitely a very big niche in the market for this lend and drive, pawn and drive model. There are a lot of people doing it. yeah, you can say illegally that they shouldn't be because it doesn't fall under the Act. They are trying to, most of them are trying to do like we did, where they actually, they say they're not part of the Act, they're not lending, it's a rental. But yeah, I don't think it's going to fly, and I think eventually everybody is going to have to conform. So we are working very closely with the NCR to see if we can make our contracts fall within the Act or some part of the Act, and where we can actually still offer this product, because we believe it's a great product for short-term lending. And yeah, it definitely helps a lot of people, because a lot of people without their cars can't go to work, can't take their kids to school, can't live. So it's something that is very necessary. But obviously the risk involved for us, the lenders, is incredibly high, because the guys turn off the trackers, so we don't know where they are, they don't pay us. They disappear, they get fraudulent papers, and they resell the car. So next minute we've got some guy that says, no, this is my car. So it's fraught with a lot of risk. And what happens is the guys just don't pay for 1 month, and they pay you half for the next, and then they don't pay you so it's so difficult to get the vehicle back that it makes it very, very highly selective for us to do a deal with a person. We need to know who we're dealing with, and we need to know that they're a person of integrity, and that they will actually stick to the contract. So that's where we are. Legally, we're not doing it anymore, because we would like to make sure that the NCR is happy with what we do, but we are negotiating with them at the moment and doing everything in our power to try and offer this kind of product. So yeah, that's the lend and drive, the pawn and drive. Watch this space. We'll keep you updated as to whether it is something that we are going to be able to legally do and do correctly as far as the NCR is concerned. Great. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.